Greetings, everyone. It's Glenn Kellaway coming to you from the basement. New video for you today. It's a beautiful Friday in Trenton, Ontario. Hope everything's cool and cozy where you are. This video is a ranking of my top 10 favorite artists, but I'm having a struggle. It's not my top 10 favorite artists of all time. I think, unless my top 10 favorite artists of all time is changing, it seems to be in a state of flux. It's freaking me out because, if you ask me my top 10 favorite artists of all time, I'm going to say, just right off the top of my head, Beatles, Dylan, Grateful Dead, yes, like, and then, all the classic artists. But I find I'm not listening to, I can't remember the last time I listened to a Beatles album. Dylan, I listen to Rough and Rowdy Ways quite often. Dylan still, and I'm not saying Beatles aren't my favorite band, they are, but I started to think if I did a list of my favorite bands in 2022, it's going to be different than my favorite artists of all time. And where would I rank them in my favorite artists of all time? Have they taken over? How do you guys feel about this? As once you've solidified your list of the greatest favorite artists of all time, that's it? It never changes? Because I'm freaked out that mine is constantly changing now, and I don't know. It's just because I'm opening my ears to bands that I never really listened to before, which are going to show up on this list. Just because it's new records that I bought, and I've had the Beatles records for so long and heard them so much that I'm not playing them as often, but they're still my favorites. But why are these other artists taking up so much of my playing time? So anyway, I don't know where this is going. But this is based on, I'm obsessed, right? I have this obsessive personality, not in my everyday life, but I have it when it comes to music. And once I get hooked on an artist, like I have with Caravan and David Bowie recently, and now a new one's popped up that's freaking me out, that I'm going to discuss today, that's on this list. I don't know. Anyway, let's get started. So number 10, I got turned on to this album from my great friend Sam St. John. He kept encouraging me to get it, said I would like it, and I procrastinated, and then I picked up the CD of John Mellencamp's Strictly a One-Eyed Jack, and I just, from the first listen, went, oh, that's awesome. I mean, I've talked about this before. If you threw the current Bob Dylan, like Rough and Rowdy Ways sound, in with a hat with Tom Waits and Louis Armstrong, you'd probably come up with this album. He's got a gruff, smoky voice from 100 years of smoking cigarettes. Songs are kind of introspective, and Bruce Springsteen guests on 3 of the songs. Just a fine, fine album. I absolutely love it. So then Sam encouraged me. He said, if you like that one, you got to get this one. Plain Spoken. So I picked that up on CD, and it's really good too. Very singer-songwriter-ish guitar, basically acoustic guitar and John. It's raw and really, really good songs. John's in good voice, and I really like this. I was a big Mellencamp fan back in the 80s. Saw him, I think, in 87, like the Lonesome Jubilee years, when Cherry Bomb and all those were big hits. And just completely ignored him after that. And now today, I'm listening to these 2 records quite often. So John's making my list at number 10. Number 9, my friends Sam and Rich will be happy to see this gentleman on my list, Tom Petty. I've been playing a lot of Tom Petty lately, and I'm sadly lacking in most of Tom's discography. I have Damn the Torpedoes. I have The two latest ones were Mojo and Hypnotic Eye, which I really like. Mojo especially I like. And my favorite Tom Petty album is Wildflowers, which I have on CD, but this is the anniversary issue that came out last year, I think. This is like the 1, 2, 3 album set of Tom Petty Wildflowers, which I play quite often. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say I play this a hell of a lot. Tom Petty's greatest hits, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' greatest hits. One of the best greatest hits albums ever. Every song is just incredible. This I was thinking about doing a ranking of my favorite greatest hits albums, and this would certainly get consideration for top spot. So Tom Petty has been getting a lot of love. I'm going to start picking up more of his albums. I have my eye on the box set, I think, of the first 8 or 9 albums, but it's expensive, man. It's like $200 and some for 8 or 9 albums. I don't know if I can do it. Number 8, mostly because I got this when it came out, the anniversary edition of Moving Pictures, which is my favorite Rush album. Rush has been getting a lot of love in the house, too. I just finished reading a book about Rush as well, which was really enjoyable. This is an audiophile release. The Moving Pictures sounds amazing. The treasure on this, I think, is the live in YYZ, which is the airline code for Toronto. So they played live Maple Leaf Gardens 1981, and these albums are great. I haven't been playing them since I got the set, and I've just started playing them recently, and they are fantastic. So this is a set that I'm really, no buyer's remorse on this one. It's awesome. It's getting a lot of love. So Rush is number 8 right now on my current bands I love. Number 7, he always is on my top 10, Mr. Frank Zappa. I just picked this up reissue for $29.99 at Zapp Records in Cobourg, Ontario. Absolutely, like, it's VG plus 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 plus, and excellent sound too. Man, it sounds good. I'm really pleased with this reissue. So one of the great albums of all time, one of the great double albums, arguably the first double album. But Frank is getting a lot of love, and on June 17th. Which is a week today, they're releasing Frank Zappa Erie, which is a 7 CD set of all his appearances in Erie, Pennsylvania, covering the years 73 and 74, I think, which is kind of like the Apostrophe period, Overnight Sensation, which is just an amazing prolific period in Frank's career. I'm really excited about that one too. Another one, it's $170 for this set on Amazon right now. That's in Canada, so I'm not sure what it's selling for in the US. But I got a birthday coming up, and if people give me some gift cards, some family members give me some gift cards, they might go towards that set. We'll see. Number 6 is Bruce Springsteen. If you asked me a year ago if I would have put Bruce Springsteen on any list ever again, I would have said no. But I was a huge Springsteen fan, and I just gave up on him. I got Western Stars because I bought it used fairly cheap, and it's not bad. I mean, there's songs on there I don't like, but there's some really good songs on there. It's I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. But when he released Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, the legendary 1979 No Nukes concerts, and I saw Bruce for the first time pretty much do this show at Maple Leaf Gardens in 1980 on the River Tour, I had to have this. And I don't regret it at all. It is fantastic. It's so full of energy. The Blu-ray disc is awesome, although I got to say, it's not audiophile video quality. Videophile. I invented a new word. It's not a videophile concert performance, but musically it sounds great. Audio sounds fine. It's a bit grainy. But anyway, it's it doesn't matter. It's such a great electrifying performance, and this got me back into Bruce big time. Had my nephew Jack over last week, and he's never listened to Springsteen ever. And I said, let's watch this video, and it blew him away. Next day we're in the store, and he's buying Springsteen CDs and buying this set. And I contacted him the other day and said, how's the Springsteen journey going? He said he can't get no nukes out of the CD player. So, Bruce, yeah, you're back in my good graces, buddy. Number 5, the Kinks. I've been playing a ton of Kinks, and again, I'm guilty of not having a lot of their catalog. I've got 2 or 3 comps, and I've got the Arthur Anniversary Edition and the Village Green Society Anniversary Edition, and recently, because of CD exchange with Larry, where he lent me Lola, which I'd never had before and never heard this whole album before in all my life, and just think it's amazing. It's actually my favorite Kinks album now, and I've been playing the hell out of this, which has led me to play a lot of the comp, which I have, which I like. One of these comps I really like. I want to highly recommend this one, the Kinks Single Collection. I think this one is the best comp I've got of the Kinks, and it goes right back to their recording cover of Long Tall Sally, and it's a very good comp and sounds pretty good to my ears. So the Kinks come in at number 5, and I'm on the lookout for more Kinks albums. Number 4. Okay. XTC. Larry and I just did a bit of a trade. We traded, Larry Graves and I traded. He got my Caravan box set, my smaller set, and I got a couple of Bowie lives and this amazing album from XTC, The Black Sea. I have the vinyl, but didn't have the set with the Steven Wilson remix, and just freaking love this album. It's great. And I picked this up when I was in the States. Again, I had the vinyl, but I didn't have this release, reissue, remix with Steven Wilson again. Drums and Wires, another great album. These guys are amazing. I have my birthday's this month, and I've asked my wife to get me Mummer and English Settlement. So both of those I think will be coming in another week. So I am on a huge XTC kick. I just watched their documentary. I think it's on HBO or Crave or one of those. Anyway, I just watched that. It's a great documentary if you haven't seen it. And XTC, yeah, just playing the heck out of XTC. Number 3. Okay. This is my new obsession. Oh, I just picked up these Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, B-Sides and Rarities, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So this is available in one complete set. This is 5 CDs in total, folks. It's available in one CD set, but Amazon didn't have it. I would have had to order it from a third-party vendor coming from Europe, I think, or it might have been from the U.S., but it was $40. So I could buy them individually. Part 1 is a 3 CD set, which sold for like $24, and part 2 is a 2 CD set, which sold for $13. A pretty good value on this. So $40 it cost me, although they're not in one complete set. I got all the music, and this is incredible. Anybody who's a fan of the Dylan bootleg series, especially going back to the first release, volumes 1 to 3, and all the treasures, the undiscovered treasures and gems and alternate takes and unreleased material that is on that set and continues to be released on the whole Dylan bootleg series. No one has come close. You just think, you go, this man has more discarded music that's great than most artists have on their premiere albums. And I could say the same about Nick Cave. It's the only other artist I'm going to say that with. How did some of these songs not end up on his studio releases? I don't know. There's also some great covers on here. He does a cover of What a Wonderful World. He does a cover, the first song on the first CD is, do you remember that song? I think it was the Hawkins Singers. Oh, happy day, oh, happy when he walked. Remember that song? He does a cool version of that. He does Rye Whiskey, Helpless, Neil Young's Helpless, Tower of Song, Leonard Cohen, Rainy Night in Soho, The Pogues. Man, it's just a ton of stuff, and it sounds amazing, and it's so good. I want the vinyl. The vinyl is a 7 LP set, but right now it's $250. I'm kind of hoping I'm going to wait and see, but this is absolutely amazing, blowing me away. I discovered Nick Cave's when I watched Peaky Blinders, the TV show on Netflix. It's a British show about gangs and stuff like that. Really good show. And they used his theme song, Red Right Hand, as his song as the theme song. And right away I went, what the hell is that? And looked it up, Nick Cave, and started listening. Fell in love with this album, which many consider his best album, The Boatman's Call. Excellent record. My favorite is actually Let Love In, which has Red Right Hand on it. It's a great album. And of course, one of his latest albums is Ghosteen. Nick sadly, tragically lost his 15-year-old son. He fell off a cliff or jumped off a cliff while on LSD, 15 years old. Pretty sad. But Nick wrote this album. It's a sad record. It's very atmospheric. It's a beautiful record. I don't know, it's kind of hard to listen to all sitting down at once, so I kind of listen to it a few songs and then I take it off mostly. That's my listening habits for this album, but it's a beautiful record. Ghosteen. Yeah, check that out. What's next? Okay, number 2 and number 1 are probably not going to be very surprising. Number 2, which would have been number 1 up until a month or so ago, is Caravan. Caravan needs no introduction if you've been watching my channel. I picked this up, British pressing of Girls That Go Plump in the Night, on the Durham label. English release, British release. Fantastic, sounds amazing. One of my favorite Caravan albums. Then, of course, you can watch my last video. I'm not going to bore you with the details of this. Amazing box set, 37 discs of Caravan. Some of the live stuff on here is incredible. I was just listening to a double CD in here from 1999, so fairly current compared to their heyday was the 60s and late 60s and 70s, and it was really good. And it had the original band back together with Richard St. Clair and Pye Hastings and Pye's brother, and it was really good. And number 1. Bowie. I am just in love with David Bowie now. I even got a Bowie t-shirt on order. This guy, I liked his stuff from the 70s, had it. I've explained all this before. Now I think I have his whole catalog. I have like 20, I don't know how many CDs plus this one. I'm pretty sure I've got everything but the first album called David Bowie with the early stuff on it. I think that's the only one I don't have. And wow, there might be a couple of live albums, but this set is just incredible. And one of the albums that's really just is, I think, absolutely amazing is this one, Hours. What a great frickin' album this is. Absolutely incredible. I'm not sure from what year it is, that particular release, but man, oh man, what a great set. I'm going to do also a video on my favorite box sets, and this one might be number one. It is just so impressive and so well done and just so classy, unbelievable. Yeah, here's, I'm going to hold these up here. That's my Bowie collection on CD here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 CDs, plus how many are in this set. That's so I'm up to over 30 Bowie CDs. And I owned, how many? I think 5 before I started getting completely obsessed and just so impressed, especially with his later stuff, which I didn't think would be very good. I'm loving it. And yeah, so that's it for me. My top 10. Let's recap. Number 1, Bowie. Number 2, Caravan. Number 3, Nick Cave. Number 4, XTC. Number 5, The Kinks. Number 6, Bruce Springsteen. Number 7, Frank Zappa. Number 8, Rush. Number 9, Tom Petty. Number 10, John Mellencamp. Let's see if this list, some of these artists start to fade off the list, and the Beatles and the Stones and the Dead and Yes start to creep back up again. We'll maybe revisit this in a couple of months. Everyone have a great day. Thank you so much.